The Oklahoma Sooners are trending positively for several prospects in the 2026 class. We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, we're going to start with a guy that has been trending towards Oklahoma for a long time, and that's Kevin Ford Jr., the edge rusher out of Duncanville. He ranks as the number 10 edge in the 2026 class by 247 Sports, a top 100 prospect. There have been a lot of predictions favoring Oklahoma for Kevin Ford. The most recent one coming this week from Cody Carpenter, a recruiting analyst that covers the Texas Longhorns for Rivals.
Oh, wow. So Texas guy is starting to concede and say, I don't think that Texas has a chance. That tells me everything I need to know. Duncanville has been a hotbed for Texas over the last few years. They've been pulling some of the best talent from there. I mean, heck, Colin Simmons is probably the name that we all know. We chased Caden Durham. And unfortunately did not win. Decorum Moore left and went up to Oregon, but they're known for putting out some really nasty talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And this will be a huge win for Oklahoma. I know that Miguel Chavis has been working his butt off in trying to get some of those players there. He has been really, really recruiting their hardcore. And Kevin Ford Jr., man, he at his size, 6'4", 240, is what he's listed now. I bet you he's bigger than that now. His film is just elite. He would be a massive addition on this defensive line. And heck, he could push his way to an opportunity to play extremely early as a true freshman.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's got 11 of the 16 SEC schools that have offered him, including the Oklahoma Sooners, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Alabama. I mean, your elites of the elites. Tennessee, Ohio State's on that offer sheet. Penn State's on that offer sheet. And they know a little something about defensive ends and edge rush development. So this is going to be one of those recruitments that likely goes for a long time. Even if you get a commitment from him over the next few months before that senior year of high school hits, that's going to be one of those that Oklahoma has to keep recruiting. Or whichever school lands that commitment is going to have to keep recruiting because nobody's going to back off. Everybody's going to keep pursuing this dude because he's really, really good. The other one, another elite defensive end in the 2026 class. This is Jake Kruel out of IMG Academy. He's the number 60 player in the nation, according to 247 Sports, the number 7 edge, and the number 7 player in Florida. The Oklahoma Sooners received a prediction from, again, Cody Carpenter that covers recruiting for Texas, predicting the Oklahoma Sooners to land Jake Kruel. Again, another really great offer sheet. Arkansas, Auburn, Clemson, Colorado are pursuing him. Duke, Florida, Missouri, Michigan, Miami, Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Oregon, Penn State. So again, the who's who of college football recruiting on Jake Kruel's list.
Yeah, and it's funny, the Jake Kruel quote that came out from John Garcia over at Rivals when he wrote up about him getting the questions he was looking for answered when he got to Oklahoma and visit and talk to them. And this is what he says: I will say more of a validation of being a top priority and confirming how well I fit in their defensive scheme. Kruel, this is who he pointed out. You ready? Brace yourself, John, because when we talked about him in the first segment, a lot of people was losing their minds in the comment section. Is R. Mason Thomas and I are extremely similar in body type, and he had an all-SEC season last year. Darn. So whenever a player like R. Mason Thomas has a really good year, the guy recognizes, obviously Jake's not sleeping on him. He's 100% welcome. Seeing this, he's like, hey, that is me. And if if you scheme me like you're scheming him, I should be able to go out there. And this is a top 100 prospect. So because they have a similar body type, he's 6'3", about 240 as well. Yeah, he's seeing that, okay, Oklahoma, if they use me like they use R. Mason Thomas, it's a very, very, very good chance I can have an all-SEC season if I put in the work. To me, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, Jake knows ball, basically, is what we're finding out.
Yeah.
Let's
He's
also
so
not
good.
sleep on the IMG Academy connection with David Stone and Jaden Jackson. David Stone actually put up a picture of him and his IMG Academy brethren on the bench together
Mm-hmm.
over on social media after Jake's recent visit. So I'm not saying that that means everything. It doesn't not mean something. So
I mean, we also got Will Conroy down there, the OU commit at IMG,
yes.
nudging Jake all the
Mhm.
time. And he even said, Will said that in his recruiting, he's like, the one person I'm trying to get to come with me is Jake. So if I get Kruel here, you got yourself a offensive lineman and a edge coming from IMG. Man, it's going to be huge.
And we've seen, listen, Jaden Jackson was very well developed at IMG. I'm sure Jake Kruel and is also going to be very well developed coming to Oklahoma. The other one, this one is of interest here as well. Another Duncanville star, 4-star in the 247 Sports Composite, tight end Zachary Turner out of Duncanville, 6'2", currently listed at 215 pounds over at 247 Sports. But again, an offer sheet that is pretty elite. Miami, Florida State, SMU, Auburn, Colorado, Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Oregon, Penn State, TCU, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M. So another dude who has got a strong offer sheet. And I know people are down on Joe John Finley right now, but this could be a potential big win for him if he's able to get this commitment and we can get something out of Zachary Turner down the line.
Yeah, and get him just go across the line. The good thing for Coach Finley here is he's also got a very very good guy that's doing work in the front office in Jim Nagy. So he's starting to get out there, get some of the. He's starting to get those offers out there. He's starting to, get the big board going and say, hey, these are players we should heavily focus on. These are ones that fit the mold and the model of player you're looking for. We'll find some of the diamonds in the rough for you also, while you guys, of course, recruiting some of the top players. We were looking for NFL guys, NFL bodies, players that are going to be able to actually move Oklahoma to the next level that needs to be done to succeed in the SEC. So the good thing is that's going to be one thing that's going to help with Coach Finley. And then, of course, if you can get 2 Duncanville kids, game changer for future. Game changer. Because, like I said, it's a very hard school to recruit because they churn out so much elite talent that every school in the nation is trying to find their ends and their relationships there. So hopefully we can find a way to build a pipeline instead of us being one of those anomalies or outliers that can snatch them once every so many years. See if we can get some consistency in pulling a couple of guys a year. That will be huge.
Well, they've already laid really good groundwork with their recruitments of Colin Simmons and with Caden Durham. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Even if you don't win those, building relationships and laying the groundwork helps a lot. If they're, again, Zachary Turner, I know you're going to look at the stars, but he's the number 15 athlete according to Rivals, and he's a 4-star prospect over there. So the dude's got some game, and if you're producing at Duncanville, you're a player. You're a pretty good player. So interesting recruiting happenings for Oklahoma. Expect over the next few months, especially as we get close to Champ U barbecue and official visits over the summer, that we're going to start seeing more and more projections on the recruiting side of things, and we'll have you covered here on Locked On Sooners. So make sure you're tuned in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay on the social medias at Unfair Sports. You can also check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John 9 Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer.
Sooner. We just need to land at edge. Give me Kruel, and it would be the game changer you need.